I'm Ingrid Hill, and I own and operate. Welcome to Cordova Farms. I'm Ingrid Hill, and I own and operate Cordova Farms here in Power, Montana. And we are a fourth generation farm. My husband's great-grandfather homesteaded our ranch land here. So we're the fourth generation caretaking this land. Cordova is the name of the town that was originally formed right on the railway. And so that town doesn't exist anymore. It was just a grain elevator and 2 buildings. And that's about 4 miles from our farm. So I grew up in Bozeman, Montana, not at all in agriculture or farming. Josh grew up on the farm. He grew up right here on this land. And I think, like most farm kids, thought he was gonna get the heck out of here and never return to the farm. I don't think he ever saw a scenario that involved him living here. And Josh and I try and do big projects together whenever we can, but he also has a full-time job off farm, so usually it's just me. And I always make the joke that I am not the farmer's wife, I am the farmer. So I'm the one out every day doing chores. And we've had a couple young gals, high school girls, that have helped out doing chores during the summer when we have a lot of extra things to do. So that's also been really cool for me that everyone I've had intermittently working on our farm somehow has also been a woman. So that's been really fun in a male dominant field to be a bunch of strong, awesome women working hard, moving animals better than anybody else. We do have a daughter, Edith. She is 2 years old. We joke that she is our farm CEO, but she takes her job very seriously. She collects eggs every day, and that's, it's an Easter egg hunt every day. Most 2-year-olds would love that. Did you find an egg? So that's been really fun for us to see what that's like for us raising a family on a farm and figuring out how I balance trying to accomplish all of my tasks with her with me and keeping it fun for her. When she grows up, if she wants to be a farmer or a rancher, that sounds lovely. And if she wants to go do something else and be an astronaut, that sounds lovely too. No matter what, we'll find a way to keep our lands being grazed appropriately and making sure that this land is treated the way it should be treated so that it can continue. And it doesn't have to be my daughter doing that if she doesn't want to. If she wants to, great, but it doesn't have to be. Everyone loves our livestock guardian dogs. Louie especially is a snuggle bug and very friendly, so he's a lot of fun for people to meet when they come out to the farm. And our livestock guardian dogs make it possible for us to raise our animals out on pasture. And so without them, there's no way we could move or graze or raise our animals the way that we are. So we started with just 4 pigs. And for me, I wanted to try raising our own meat, that if we're going to continue eating meat and feeding our family, I want to make sure that everything we're consuming is the best that we can get. So that seems like, let's try raising it. When you have in-laws who have a ranch, we should start there. We added our flock of sheep and doubled the number of pigs we had and brought 30 chickens and moved up here 3 years ago. So we grew our operation pretty rapidly in increasing the number of animals and the diversity that we had within our first year. We realized in doing more research that we could do a lot more sustainable programs, that we can add diversity to our livestock by adding other animals, other ruminants, and adding pigs and chickens, that by doing that you can actually benefit the soils, and came up with system designs for figuring out your grazing rotations, which ties in really well for Josh's brain and software engineering, the design piece of that. He also cares about the family legacy and knowing that this was the land that his great-grandfather homesteaded, so being able to be 4th generation is a really big honor. We work a lot with other producers, so all of our hay that we get and our grain that we buy is put up and grown by neighbor farmers. And so everything that we source is grown within the farthest away, I'm gonna say, is 18 miles of our farm. And then we work with a company called Eden Feeds for our chicken feed. So they do a great layer feed and a meat bird feed. So we've worked with them because they source awesome grains to feed our poultry. So we're all pasture raised, so we do grass-fed, grass-finished for our lamb and our beef, and we're pasture raised beef, pork, lamb, and poultry. We have some diversity in the pork that we produce, and so we have some red wattles and some large black, and then we also have a breed called Mangalitsa, which is a Hungarian breed, but they're known for their lard, and their fat is just gorgeous, but they're more sought after in a restaurant setting, not the average consumer. I don't think understands or knows what to do with a gorgeous white fat cap, whereas some of our chefs that we've worked with have been so excited about that. So that also fit well in being able to create products that are best suited, we think, for feeding families, and then products that get our chefs who have bigger and grander ideas than I could ever come up with to really enjoy our product and be excited about what we have to offer.
The quality that we get from Cordova Farms is probably some of the best pork that we've ever worked with, and had the privilege of working with quite a bit throughout my career over the last 25 plus years. The quality of what you get, the fat cap you get on it is just so decadent, and just it's amazing the flavor profiles that you get. Knowing that what I got this last harvest versus what I'm getting the next harvest, it is the same thing over and over. So it's the same quality, where other purveyors, other sources may not have that same quality each time. You may not see the same fat cap. These particular animals are treated the same way, fed the same way, and then ultimately butchered and processed the same way. So it does make it nice that it is sustainable. It is a repeat process for us. So we know the quality that we get from our first meal to our last meal is the same. And that makes a big difference to our customers.
From our farm to N-Bar's table, everything was a closed loop in our community, and we're supporting other Montana family businesses in doing that. We've also worked with Nourish, which is a food truck out of Great Falls. And then in Bozeman, we have lamb in Feast and in Plonk. And then in Missoula, we work with a company called Fifth Season Meats, and they've done a lot of charcuterie with our pork. We have a shipping program, so we have launched this year a shipping program so we can ship anywhere within the state of Montana, and so that's any of our frozen meats. So we currently have pork, lamb, and beef available. So we have some ready-made boxes. My favorite is called the Feed Your Family box because it ties into kind of why I started doing this, which was to feed my family. And so that comes with a variety of pork and beef cuts that are just kind of your staples for things you would cook on an average week. So we have a couple roasts in there. There's some breakfast sausage, some chorizo sausage, bacon, and ground beef. Ranching and farming is never easy. It has to be something that you love because it is work every single day of the year. The livestock does not know that it is your birthday or that it's Christmas. They just know that they need to be fed and checked. Whatever the obstacle is, you have to problem solve and make it work because everything is depending on you, which can feel like a lot of pressure. In saying it out loud, it sounds like a lot of pressure, but I enjoy the challenge because I know we're capable of that. So you just have to power through. So it is hard work all the time, but it's also really rewarding. I think you get to see the fruits of your labor very readily. You get to, especially when we're doing daily moves out on pasture with our animals, you can see the benefit that it's doing to our pasture land, which then is improving our soil and our plant diversity, but you also get to see happy animals living, grazing the way that they should be. And so then all of that is hard work, but it also feels incredibly gratifying to be able to see that success happen every day.